28 after 10 o'clock and 27 degrees here at the moment. Not bad. It's muggy. It's very, very hot. My prediction this morning was 24 degrees and Barbara's was 26. So, well, guess who wins again? Maybe tomorrow. Yeah, she's manifesting your finger there anyway. It is Thursday, December the 1st. Pinching a punch to everybody, especially our guest coming out of Australia this morning. Coming out of Queensland, in fact, and I heard recently the government over there in Canberra was having it is Cairns, isn't it, where the capital is over there.
Canberra.
Canberra, yeah. I knew I had it right in the first place. It's Australia, right? It is, but I heard the government there was going through all sorts of dilemmas because now with the passing of the Queen. Is Victoria really Victoria, or is it now, is Queensland very Queensland, or as it could be, Kingsland now? Something to think about, you know what I mean? I've always thought it was a place where men went and wore high heels and dresses and drove fast and, women's clothing, called it drag racing. It's Queensland. Anyway, I'm not going to give our artist a hard time because he is a very, very good friend of ours and I respect him a lot, especially with his music. Now, check this out. Let me tell you how happy we are to have you joining us here at Galaxy. Let me do this. Galaxy. That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. Got to say hi to Sean Simpson from Rockford, Illinois. Nice to have you back, Sean, it really, really is. And Jason Alfonso as well. And believe me, Kerry Van Cannon is joining us as well. Believe me, Kerry, loving the new work, especially from the groove. You'll know what I'm talking about, really am. Today, believe me, if you're going to watch us a little later on over there on YouTube, you know what to do, right? No, you do. Seriously. Even Australians get this. Sub, thumb, bell. Bingo. Yep. Notifications. That's why the bell. So that we have important people much like Dellacoma joining us today, coming out of Brisbane. And believe me, I'm loving Brisbane just recently. We've been talking to a number of artists coming out of there. Dellacoma, of course, we've known for a minute. We have known him for a while. And I've got to be honest with you, I'm loving his hair. I am. I'm very jealous of his hair. Kind of reminds me of a former lead singer of InXS, to be very honest with you, or maybe somebody with the Doors. It's got that feel about him. And believe me, he has that pedigree, that feel as far as stage work and performances go as well. Got to say hi to John and Gigi from Curtain Call Records. Now, don't forget the thummy thing. Yeah, get epileptic with that. Double, treble, you know what I mean. Just like us a lot. Then subscribe, become part of the family here at Galaxy. We call it The Noise, and it's growing exponentially every day. It really is. We're in every English-speaking country in the world, and we just love each and every one of you. Today we're doing Dellacoma, but let me tell you how happy we are to be in association with Rise Up TV. Big Record, Sony Music, The Orchard, here with Galaxy.
Another indie artist interview brought to you by Galaxy 107 FM in association with Rise Up TV, Big Record and Sony Music The Orchard.
Really are very, very happy to have all of the staff from Rise Up TV, Big Records and Sony Music, especially Tim, especially Mark Rosner, especially Lisa and Pamela and Don, JD Youngcat, the whole enchilada, including everybody in the background as well. These guys work tirelessly. They really, really do. So very happy to be in association with them. Got to say hi to Stanley Oss. Nice to have you on board, Stanley. It's been a minute. It really has. Coming out of St. Petersburg. JD Youngcat is joining us. And Michael Fisher. Hello, brother man. Nice to have you with us. Of course, brilliant band. We love your music. We really do. Getting it out there too, by the way. Nick Plews is watching. Nice to have you on board, Nick, coming out of Leicester in the UK. And you're going to love this young man. We've known him for a while. Dellacoma Rio. And, the quality of his work is absolutely superb, as you would expect from Galaxy. Check this out. Here he is with Vampires.
Darkness falls, you feel so fine.
Oh gosh, it's hot in here.
You wouldn't be used to that over there, would you?
Well, you know, we are on the east side of the island. That means that we don't get anything like snow. Yeah, we're kind of allergic to that stuff.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I was talking to some Canadians the other day, 40 below.
Yeah.
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 believe
I've got
me.
cousins that live in Calgary, and I've been up there to visit them several times, and like even snowing, even in like, the month before summer. Like, man, I couldn't handle that.
Apparently some of my friends over there, their wives have a strange tradition where they go and hide the husband's beer out in the backyard while it's snowing. Always a pleasure, apparently, to find it 6 months later. Wouldn't do it. Oh, Stanley, nice to have you on board, Stanley. It really, really is. And Scott Cross is watching. Kia ora, Scott. Nice to have you on board as well. It really, really is.
And Franco.
Franco's with us. Love, love, love Franco. We really do. And Michael, we love your band as well. We really, really do. And we continuously get requests for it all the time. Midnight Sky is just blazing here at Galaxy. Dave Carley's watching as well. Right. How's everything in the music scene over there right now? Is it coming back to normal again?
Yeah, it's starting to pick up, yeah, for sure. In fact, December, I've got, this sort of period, I guess, I've got my busiest month since everything sort of hit.
Yeah,
So,
it would be.
Yeah, there's, we've got the INXS show that I do, we're starting to do some book some theatres for next year, which is really, really cool to actually have some stuff on the books. And next year I've already got more gigs booked before the new year than I have in a very long time. So
You do realise that I knew way back when I was in university, John Stevens.
yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah, and next time you see him, give him a poke in the eye and tell him he owes me for a video he made on a boat. I never got paid for it.
And that's good, that's my ex in the band.
Oh,
Yeah.
is that your ex in the band?
Yeah, the one in the black at the background. I don't know why.
I don't think it would be.
God, I hope.
No, they wouldn't let your ex out of the country. That's why I don't think it would be. Oh dear, oh dear. Tony Ramos is watching. Hey, Tony. Nice to hear from you, my friend. We're going to talk about vampires, my bro.
Let's do it.
And then we're going to release Akashic? How do you...
Akashic memory.
Akashic.
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 Oh, man. Do you want me to wear teeth or something saying that sort of stuff? Come on. That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and today's guest, believe me, always a pleasure to catch up with Dellacoma, and of course, that was Vampires, a cautionary tale, so let's get down to the skinny. Welcome back, Dellacoma.
Thank you so much for having me on.
It is always a pleasure to catch up with you, brother man.
I do apologise for our rescheduling. That was a bit of an ordeal, but we got through it.
Yeah, well, you know, flat tires can have that kind of effect when you got deadlines. Believe me, I know what it's like. Now, we've kicked the show off with Vampires, and believe me, it is one of my more favoured tracks. Still loving, you know, the light, the CCR cover. I got to be honest with you, I'm really loving that. But Vampires is something a little special. I'm loving this. Why is it a cautionary tale?
Well, it's a cautionary tale, I guess, because love is something that we can't live without, and nor should anyone live without. But it's also something that can wreak havoc in your life if you're not careful, I guess.
Yeah, I kind of get that. Something you can sink your teeth into at least, isn't it? Now, having said that, my friend, and we've covered a few things over the years, including how do fans get hold of you? Are you still on Facebook? Are you on Twitter? Are you on Instagram? Are you a talker? And do you respond? We've covered that, and I know that you do that. But moreover, I want to talk about your book. Believe me, this is fascinating to me because I know of a number of artists that have written books in the past, and it's been quite the ordeal. How did this process work for you?
Well, it kind of came about purely because I do write a lot of poetry, and I've been posting a lot of poetry on Instagram and stuff, and I had a lot of people ask if I was ever going to do a book, and I'd always kind of put it in the too hard basket. And it just kind of got to a point, I guess, where I thought, you know, why don't I actually try this? So it came together pretty quickly, actually, to be honest. I did the first, I think it was the first 50 copies I handmade. So when I say handmade, I had them printed, like the pages printed, but I put it all together, and because the book is called Red Threads, so I hand-stitched the binding with red thread. It's just a bit of a special limited edition thing for the first sort of 50 copies, and then I did printed copies as well, and both of those sold out, so I'm re-releasing it with a new artwork on the cover very soon.
Well, I got to be honest with you, Dellacoma, I would love to have a copy. How would you like to send me one?
I'll try, how about carrier pigeon?
Yeah,
snail mail. Would that work?
Yeah, absolutely. Anything like that. Unfortunately, it doesn't work too well trying to squeeze it down through the wires, you know what I mean? I would dearly, and I mean this quite sincerely, I would love to be able to have a copy and read it, because I kind of like a bit of poetry myself. I'm a little, you know, into that, and
I'll pop one in the mail for you.
Yeah, do that, please, because I would really love to be able to peruse through it. Unlike Barbara, who's taking notes right now, because she was saying to me that I need to write a book about myself, and I went, nah, you know more about me than I do. You write the damn thing. I don't have the patience, I really don't. You know, I don't mind telling the stories from back in the day, but sitting down and writing it instantly, mind fade, blank, you know, white piece of paper, that history of Grant, right there, literally. And speaking of which, I have the Bible on Dellacoma Rio, all one page of it. and there's much, I don't think there's much change since the last time we caught up, my friend. But, you know, we've survived the pandemic era. During that period, and of course nobody was doing live stage shows or anything like that, so I presume just maybe that you were sitting down writing and recording more. Is that what was happening?
I definitely got back in the studio. In fact, we've just sort of started, when I say started, the process starts, is constantly going for writing, but I just got out of the studio with Boya, my producer and guitarist, 3 weeks ago, I guess it was. Putting down some new demos as well. So hoping to have something in the works that we can actually announce at some point next year.
Well, I would, me, I'm a big fan of your work, I've got to be honest with you, Dellacoma, so I'm looking forward to anything new that you can pass me. I really, really am. Having said that, just a very quick side question. You don't happen to have anything that's sort of like a Christmas song, do you?
I've got a couple of Christmas songs, actually. So I've got here's a story for you. So years ago, I was in a band called Sunset Riots, and there was a woman who used to come to our shows who was Scottish, absolutely lovely chick, and she, when it would get close to Christmas time, she would always come to our shows and she would say, "You guys have got to do a Christmas song," and I would laugh and I would say, "Oh yeah, maybe," Anyway, fast forward to I'd already had the first album out, and I think Vampires had actually already come out as well. And every year she would message me around Christmas time. She goes, "I'm putting together my Spotify playlist for Christmas. I'm really wishing you had a Christmas song out." And so I just thought, stuff it. I'll just do a couple of songs. So when I went to Voya, my producer, I said, "I want to do a couple of Christmas songs." He was a pretty deadpan sort of guy, and he was like, "Okay, are we writing these?" Or I was like, "Yeah, it'll be a bit of fun. And I think they are a bit of fun.
Well, I tell you what, my friend, we're starting to plan our Christmas show right now, if you know what I mean. We actually have been planning it for about a week or so. How would you like to pass those over to Barbara so we can include them?
Absolutely.
We would love to play your work. We really, really would. Now, maybe you could introduce this. My tongue seems to be stuck with my hair somewhere in the back of me, because believe me, I absolutely love this track. We were going to officially release it last week, I think it was, a week or so ago, when an incident came up. We're talking maybe a nail in a tyre, which, sort of make things awkward when you're racing home to get to meet up with Kiwis. Either that or it's a damn good excuse. Either way, it worked anyway. But please, my friend, how do you pronounce this particular track?
Akashic Memory.
You're excused. Believe me, I'm certainly hoping that you don't have to rub cream on it afterwards. But here is Dellacoma, brand spanking new song, Akashic Memory. Oh dear. Derek Lester's joining us. Nice to have you on board, Derek. And E. Wolfgang de Brett. Hello, brother man. Nice to have you on board as well. It really, really is a pleasure to have you guys joining us. Oh dear. Hey, did you see that the chicken union has come out this morning and said no more chickens crossing the road?
No, I didn't.
Tragedy, really, especially if you aim for the bloody things. But yeah, apparently yesterday Bob was the last chicken that, well, he made it to the other side.
Right. Well.
Yeah, he did. But the chicken union come out and says, no, from now on, we're taking Yeva.
I mean, look, you have to not with some of those jokes. I would imagine being from New Zealand and talking to Australians.
Yes, absolutely. You remember Captain Kirk, right?
I do remember Captain
Kirk. Now she goes.
Oh,
dear. William Shatner, you remember him, right? Yep. I see that he's had to recall his woman's lingerie.
It's going to be R18 now.
There's going to be an R18, yep, absolutely. The reason is apparently Shatner Panties isn't a good name.
That's a good one. I like that. See, I can't.
I will let you use it any time you want, bro.
I can't remember jokes for the life of me. There's only one joke that I've ever been able to remember, and it was so bad that I can't say it.
Oh, tell me later. No, it's not a dad joke by the sounds of it.
No.
It's like the one I remember.
Well, I tell you what, you'll be able to remember this one because it's on the video. You'll be able to go back and go, what was that joke? Believe me, I've got a wealth of them, I really do. But it could be an R18, so we might get told off by YouTube. Not a family show talking about Mr. Shatner's
If they'll let me onto YouTube.
lingerie.
Yeah.
You got to wonder about a man that makes lingerie anyway, don't you? I mean, look at that guy who put Victoria's Secret together.
Hang on, more luck.
Let's pick on Victoria's Secret. Oh, this chick's got a song by Jax called Victoria's Secret. She reckons that it's an old man who lives in Ohio. Well, he's got an impressive pair of shops.
It's a good song, actually. It's a good track.
It's a great track, it
I
is.
like it.
Jay is watching. You've been in the magazine before,
Yeah.
haven't you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, the man, he's watching again, so
Hey, Jay.
Hello.
he might be wanting to say Merry Christmas and all that sort of stuff there. He put on a wonderful show himself not so long ago. I'll have a chat about that later.
Galaxy.
So Ruben from Pennsylvania wants to know, Akashic Memory, where did the inspiration, where did the name come from?
The name, well, so there is a theory, I guess, if you will, amongst some circles that in the ethereal world there's a thing called the Akashic Record. So it's anything that is ever, basically a library, if you will. Anything that has ever happened, anything that ever will happen, any thought that's ever been had, any inspiration, and the idea is that when you get first inspired by something that's never happened on this world before, nothing new is under the sun. What you're actually doing is you're accessing the Akashic records.
Okay.
Like pulling a book out of their library for the first time. I kind of took that idea, I guess, and merged it with Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde.
Yep.
And I thought it would be interesting to sit down and have a cup of tea with a woman who decided to marry Dorian Gray. What sort of a woman would that be like? What would she think? What would she feel? Is it true freedom to be able to live forever and to know everything?
Would he ever show her the picture?
Well, that's a good question.
I mean, seriously, I mean, if he looks at it himself, it's doom, isn't it?
That's it.
You know, so would he show her this image? And believe me, it wouldn't be a nice image, really, would it?
It would not. It would not.
Very interesting theory on that one. Believe me, I know what you're talking about with the Akashic Memory. The police have something similar. It's called Grant's File. That's a book in its own right, it really is. But believe me, I'm absolutely fascinated with your work there, my friend. Now, I'm just wondering, besides the Christmas stuff, anything new coming out for the new year? Are you going to come back again?
Back to...
back here, are you going to release
Back
it?
here?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Anytime. My phone, it has you guys there with a little love heart after. So anytime I get the voice call come in, it is Galaxy FM, Red Heart calling. Thank you very much. Grant and Barbara.
I love that. I love that. On speed dial, no less. Here's a little something that you may be interested in. Early next year, we're actually in negotiations with the government of Papua New Guinea to open up a galaxy radio. In fact, we're looking at about 3 radio stations and possibly, just possibly, a TV station as well. All working for the benefit of indie artists and getting them concerts, everything like that over there, which will feed back to New Zealand and to Australia as well. We're doing like a devil's triangle with 3 different countries and bringing in other implements from around the world to be able to perform not only live and be promoted by radio and television, but have at least 3 or 4 different places where we can expose this absolutely talented music. And believe me, bro, I would love to be able to put you on the list to get on that bus. It's going to be a fantastic trip. What do you reckon?
Absolutely. I'm down for anything like that. I love new and unique ideas. I love traveling. I love touring, and stuff like that makes me excited. Going into places that perhaps haven't had something like that.
Honestly, believe me, there may be one more. You know what you do when you put 2 triangles together? You come up with a rectangle or a square, right? So let's throw in another friend of ours, which would be Jay, coming out of Bangalore in India, who just recently put together the International Independent Music Festival being held over in Keala at the Arts and Crafts Village over there. Absolutely knocked it out of the park. 5 days of sheer pleasure for indie artists. And believe me, it was a fantastic show, day 1 to day 5, culminating, of course, with Will Johns, who happens to be, would you believe, the nephew of Eric Clapton. Tours and works with him on the Cream of Clapton tour, you know what I mean? So believe me, this was a fantastic tour. So what we want to do is integrate maybe 3 or 4 different countries and get it up and running, where we get people like yourself of your caliber and get up and coming stars as well that can feed off the energies that you can produce, literally, and get everybody on an international stage somewhere, somehow. And believe me, I think that not only will be picked up in 4 different countries, I think there'll be other countries just want the whole package on board. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. There's a lot of power in live performance, and there's something, I was just speaking to somebody the other day about this actually. I think especially in today's age, where we are so distracted by so many different things, when you go to a live performance, like from a performance standpoint, you can't really be multitasking too much in order to give a good performance. You have to be in the moment. Obviously, if you're a drummer, you're using all your limbs, or a guitarist using multiple limbs, but you have to be in the moment. Otherwise, you can't link up with your bandmates if you're not in the moment. And there is something to be said for that being something that is fairly unique, especially in today's age where everything that we do is all about multitasking. It's all about, you're on your phone while you're having a conversation, while you're eating, not while you're driving, but yeah, you know what I mean? Like, we live in this world where there is so many things coming in our senses constantly, but because of that, it dilutes everything that's coming in. And when you can have a moment at a music concert, a live performance, where you were just there, you put all of that stuff aside and you just focus just for that time, there's something really special about that.
Well, we want to work with not only governments, but, tourism boards, stuff like that, because we think this is a great import-export kind of deal for every country involved. Literally, we can bring bands, we can bring the crowd literally with us, and we'll have people literally follow us around wherever we're going. So it's great for each and every economy as well. And we can literally showcase brand spanking new tomorrow's music today. We can do it. We really can. And Dellacoma, believe me, is there. We're going to put them in that rack. We really are. Now, having said that, my friend, if we don't catch up between now and next year, please have a very happy Merry Christmas, a great festive. Be safe, won't you? Drink and fight nights, won't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and don't
no
drive.
fighting over here.
Yeah, no drinking
fighting
and
over
driving
here.
though. Okay, no drinking and driving. Take an Uber if you must. I sheepishly got that one in there. I really did. But believe me, my friend, we are so very, very happy to have you with us as a member of the family. We really are, and we always look forward to your music. We'd love to catch up with you again, and would love to be able to catch up with an album in the future, maybe.
Yeah, well, hopefully we've started the process. If everything goes to plan, hopefully we should be able to get a little bit of a tour in next year, and then release something off the back of that.
Nice. Looking forward to that. Don't go anywhere just yet, but believe me, folks, absolute pleasure to have good friend of ours, Dellacoma Rio, joining us, coming out of Brisbane, out of Queensland, Australia. You're right here at Galaxy. Let me tell you how happy we are to be in association with Rise Up TV, Big Record, Sony Music, The Orchard, here with Galaxy.
Another indie artist interview brought to you by Galaxy 107 FM in association with Rise Up TV, Big Record and Sony Music The Orchard.